Hey folks, Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy from GroovyMusicLessons.com, doing the last of the Korg rack mount tuners. This one here behind me is going to be, or is actually, it's not only going to be, but it is the Korg DTR-1000. They also make a 2000, which is the Cadillac version of this one. And I will show you why. If you have seen the 2000 review, go look at it and you'll see why it's the cat daddy. This one here is just a scaled down thing. You got some of those cars, you know, that's just got like a plug in them, or something else, you know, that if you spent more money on the car, there would have been something there, you know, like a place to electronically control your mirrors, but you opted not to pay for that, so it's just a plug stuck in there. That's the way this is. It's got the same chassis as the other one, but it's got a lot of plugs. Okay, and not as many cool color flashing lights. But it goes okay. I got another version of it right here. See if I can get it untangled from down here. But the lights are kind of cool in there. So if you look at that, yeah, it's kind of cool. And if I put it like, you know, in a strobe mode, there you go. So it does have the strobe mode and does other cool things. So gotta love that. Now I just had a flippin' infinity mirror laying in my closet, left over from the 70s or 80s or whenever last time I smoked a doobie was. And hey, that'd be a cool tuner though, wouldn't it? Big old thing like that. I know, I'm just tripping. Okay, back to the tuner. I know you're like, let's get back to that. That's more fun. I know it's more fun. Okay, and let's grab an actual guitar and we'll tune today instead of running the other tuner through it. Grab an Iceman here, of course, because they're always out of tune. Gotta love Ibanez that way. Or Ibanez. Okay, first of all, let me go through what's what up here. I didn't have any luck shining my big lights on there, so maybe we can actually see what's here if this will focus this time. Let the camera do its thing. Okay, so you can calibrate it, go flat, you know, to different things, you know, 440 tuning, or 441, 42, 43, 44, 45, or all the way down to 438. Again, no such thing as 432 because it's horseshit. Okay, and that's the calibrated there. And up at the top is your display, if it ever comes back in again. Okay, we'll try to force feed this thing. I know that's what he said to her. Come on, yeah, bitch. How about I do that? Not enough. Anyway, so trust me, that says display up there. And that will change it from being just that, so that when you actually hit a note, it goes up. Okay, see how it'll show you the note you're playing, the G, and then it needs to go tune it. Hell, I might as well tune it while I'm standing here. So, nice thing about this larger series when you get into the 1000 and the 2000s is you have, let me back it out of here because that's what it's meant for. You can see what note it is. You can see that G over there, and we go right over the top and it turns green right above the red light. Now with the other one, it's a big blue light moving across, and it goes to the middle and it turns white. You can see that thing from Pennsylvania if you live in California, or you can see it in the UK if you're in the USA. Looks like this guitar needed tuned anyway. So these are very, very extremely accurate. Again, made nice out of steel instead of their new pitch black model, which really sucks. You know, the lights look pretty, but it's made out of total plastic, and they've already failed going from one winter into the summer and vice versa. Taking them in a club, out of a cold trailer inside, they just crack and fall apart. So don't buy the pitch black thing. I hate to say that anything that Korg puts out is a piece of shit, but the new pitch black tuners are pieces of shit. Okay, so there's that, and it's in tune. But I will leave it here so I can retune it again in a second. Okay, and that's about all we have on the front, but so it's neat because you can read, you know, okay, you're seeing it spike and go up there. That's AC spikes, or just little tiny current. See, there's a G, and you saw an F before, it's probably a F sharp and then a G flat. Same note, but it's probably reading them as such in here because it's alternating current, folks. They pick up things like that. Okay, they can pick up, you know, anything. Plus I got a lot of radioactive junk. Okay, on this side, can I read it? Okay, this is the problem with the last one. Let me turn this light away. Hey, mute. Okay, so the mute button, and that will mute yourself if you need to. I never need such things, but the way you guys play, you might need to if you don't use volume pedals. Power button. And what's it say there? It's very dirty. I can't read it. I'll go up there and flip and read it though. And then I will actually input. Okay, so you got an input and an output and a mute on the back, which I'll show you shortly. Okay, now on the display, the only thing it means is you can see it like this, or what they call strobe. Okay, again, strobes are not, me and my handy dandy device, strobes are not always like this. I've done this in one of the other videos, but here's your con tuner, strobe tuner. Let it calibrate or get in calibration mode, and you know, if you were going flat, it would look like that until you got in tune. Then it would slow down and you're in tune. If you were to go past it and go sharp, it'd be going way quick that way and then back this. Okay, so not all strobes are like that, even though that is arguably the best tuner ever made. That's why I own it. And oh, I've got do the Petersons too. Petersons are still probably the best rack tuner you can buy, and still one of the best tuners like that you can buy. They've always made wonderful tuners. And again, here, like on my Boss things that I like these kind. This is another kind of strobe like this, which is kind of what you're going to see in a second. If you're flat, it will be like that, and if you get in tune, you're like this. But if you go sharp, it'll be like that. But that's actually considered strobe. If it's waiting for you, it will look like this. Okay, so this strobe over here, when we hit the display, instead of looking like this, I'll just hit display, and we've got that. So there's where it looks like Kit the car from Knight Rider. Okay, so that is the strobe mode. Okay, so same thing going on here. I will play a note on the guitar and retune it. I'll go with that G. That's so lovely. Out of focus. I'm doing this to try to get the focus back in. It doesn't like me today. Imagine that. But anyway, I know it's just that empty wall behind it where I'm trying to work. Okay, so let's show you the G. Let's come back out. There you go. You can see it says G. But if it's way flat, okay, because we went up to G flat, so now there's that. And you just move it till it quits moving. Keep tuning it up and get it as close as you can. Now these are what you want to use if you're setting your intonation. You don't want any little bitty tuners that just won't get the job done. And again, if you have headstock tuners, throw them away. They don't do a good job at all. They're very, 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 very off. And again, like I've said in every video, if you're sitting there saying, mine works great, you just honestly don't know what you're doing or what you're talking about, but that's okay. You'll learn someday. Again, your strings have the biggest fluctuation right in the dead center, right about where your sound hole is or where your neck pickup is. So that's where you want to take the reading from. So tune by using your neck pickup if you can. They're like, well, what about when I switched my bridge pickup? Well, shit happens, kids. You got to come as close as you can. But if you use a headstock tuner, it's not getting any of that big sharp thing. So everything that you have, if you have a headstock tuner, will be majorly flat when you put it on a regular tuner. And I will do a version of that too when I demo the crappy headstock tuners. So that's how these work right here. I'll show you the back real quick, which again, let me unplug this, go in the guitar, is nothing more than where I have it plugged in. You have another input plug on the front. And yes, one can bypass the other. I can plug in something here if I want to. If the back one came undone or somebody wants to just walk along and plug into my tuner for some reason. Very simple. In, out, and then a mute. Again, where you can just put a 1/4 inch plug in from like a keyboard sustain pedal. Just plug it in there and that'll mute it. Those little square ones, keep them out of the way. So I was just plugged in there. So I would actually go from my wireless, out of my wireless, into the tuner, out of the tuner, into my next thing, which would be my compressor. And then to all my other pedals, then my volume pedal last. Or for you guys, a noise gate last, hopefully. And then a removable plug down there again. Steel chassis, you're all classy. Says Ron Burgundy. Okay, so there you go, the Korg DTR digital tuner rack mount. Let me turn this thing around so I can see myself. There you go. Again, made very well, and you can see it from all the way across the stage. Again, what I was talking about, see that thing underneath? There's supposed to be something there. In the DTR-1000, if you watch that video, there's a light built in here because these are like this. They're at a weird angle like that. So there's actually a light built in here. When you flick a button that says light, it's like having those pull-out rack mount lights. But that lights up real nice with a nice LED under there. And it shines down on all your other gear. That's why it's shaped the way it is. So you have a nice light in there. And so much other cool stuff on the 2000. On eBay, used cost on this one is usually $125. Okay. And then the other one will be more. But that's the price for this one normally is about $125, maybe $150. But if you're good, you can, if you really wait for a long time, find a 2000 DTR for 2000 for $150. But you really got to wait till it's been on there for a long time and then offer them less money. But you can do it. Trust me, I did it again last week. Bought a few of them. Bought a whole bunch of tuners this past month, actually. I think I've bought maybe 20 tuners this month so far in these 2 weeks. But once again, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com. Wishing you all the best, and I'll continue with the rest of these tuners. I'll do these snarky things and IntelliTouch tuners and other peg head bull crap, and then the tuner that goes in the hole of your guitar, which does very nice. And then these little bitty Korg things, which of course are just great for your guitar case going camping. Not much more. Okay, so you guys be groovy. Just want to show you which of all these different rack mount ones are okay. Again, steer clear of the Sabine and the Behringer and all that. They're just not much of a deal. Carving crap, and only thing is they just put a tuner in a rack space where Korg actually makes rack tuners. The other people are just taking basically this and putting it in the size of a rack like Carvin does. And if you look now, Carvin's got 3 different websites since they're splitting up so many different ways, putting their sound in a different place, and they're going back to their other brand name that they used to be called way back when before Grandpa died, and back in the 30s. But he just died a couple years ago. But Kiesel. Yeah, go check out Carvin. It's a mess, like I always told you it was. Anyway, I am out of here. Hope you enjoyed the tuners. Catch you guys soon. Herpy trails. Bye bye.